I joined WWF 4 years ago. In fact, my entry into the offices at WWF was halted, not halted, but it took me some time to show up after the job offer came through because I had to wait to travel to Ethiopia to pick up our young son, Ezreal, who's a bit bigger than that now, but shared in this picture with us. And I think that this illustrates in pictures why I do what I do. I came here after some time writing about and thinking about water policy in this country. And what drew me to this position and this opportunity was the great opportunity to put those words into action. And that's what I'm here to talk about, and that's why I joined this organization. So a bit of education. I was going to start by saying it took about 120 liters of water to make the champagne that fills each of our glasses tonight. But since most of you have probably drank most of it, that point might be lost. But in fact, it did. Some of that water, for some of us, is still in the glass. The rest was used to grow and clean the grapes and then process the grapes into the bubbly, again, that some of us are still enjoying. The point here, though, is that all of that water was, at one time or another, part of our aquatic environment. At one time or another, that water traveled the 1,700-kilometer journey down the Mackenzie Valley as part of one of the world's last truly wild rivers, the Mackenzie River. At one time, it was part of the mighty Fraser River, where Canada's prized Pacific salmon thrashed in its midst. At one time, it was a raindrop falling in the headwaters of Lake Superior that, 350 years later, merged with the salty waters of the Gulf of St. Lawrence, where threatened beluga frolic and play today. Before long, that water will return to those places and to many more. The point here is that the water we use when we turn on the tap, when we generate electricity, when we irrigate the fields that feed our cities, is water that we share with all life on Earth. So when we protect our aquatic environment, which is what we're here to do, we protect the waters that we all rely on, that we rely on for champagne and for so much more. That's why this fall WWF is kicking off what we're calling our National Living Rivers campaign. This is a campaign that in some ways, but not always, is emulated and looks to, for guidance, the Endangered Spaces campaign that we're here to celebrate tonight. It's a campaign that aims to protect Canada's wild rivers, rivers like the Mackenzie that still flow freely from source to sea. A campaign that ensures our working rivers, those that we depend on necessarily to generate electricity, to irrigate our fields, to give us water to drink, that they get the water they need to remain healthy and productive. It is a campaign that is intended to secure water for nature and water for people. Of course, we can't, as we've learned in this organization, do this alone. Our goals can only be realized if we engage people and organizations that can come together under a shared vision with a shared purpose. We are working to connect many diverse groups across the country who are watching out for our waters to create a national network of water stewards. And as we do, we're working with business and industry to reduce water footprints, to do more with every drop that they borrow from our lakes, from our rivers, and our streams, so that together, as a collective, we make sure that more is left in place to do what we truly cherish, to dive into, to dip our paddles into, or, as I like to do, simply gaze upon. Actually, more truly, my wife likes to do that. Even before he showed up, she didn't pick up the paddle too often. She's not here. So I have the pleasure of tinkling glasses, and on behalf of my colleagues and I'd like to raise a glass in toast to the future of conservation in Canada, to life and to living in harmony with nature.